is Natasha Lewis from Big Rock Organics, and welcome to week 2 of the CSA. We've got a beautiful, bountiful box planned for you this week, so let's dive in together and see what we have. So we've got some fun, different textures and lots of greens. I hope you all are enjoying the bountiful greens. Like I said last week, with all that beautiful lettuce and stuff, I take and wash it in the salad spinner, and then I keep it in the salad spinner and it keeps all week, and I can go ahead and just make a salad anytime. It's really quick and really easy. So hopefully you've been enjoying those greens. We're moving on to a fresh planting. I don't know if you know that throughout the season we make multiple plantings of things so that we have lots of different things coming on all throughout the season. So this is our second, actually third planting of lettuce here. So we've got some beautiful mixed greens in our lettuces. Hopefully you've been enjoying those in so many different ways. We do have arugula this week. Very excited about gorgeous, gorgeous fresh arugula. Now, one of my favorite things to do with arugula is got a little bit of a peppery flavor, and it is just so delicious. Is I love to put it on top of pizza. Put it on top of pizza and then use a balsamic drizzle, and it is just so delicious. It is a great fresh eating green, but you can also toss it in at the last minute with a pasta or something like that and serve it slightly wilted. I do prefer it fresh and, raw like this. Add it to a salad, add it on a sandwich. It adds a really nice little bit of a crunch and flavor to like a turkey sandwich or something like that. Also, arugula goes great with balsamic, so any sort of balsamic arugula pairing is really delicious. So we've got some fresh arugula for you. We've got spinach, of course. Now, Monday people, we did wash the spinach. It was just a little bit muddy from some of our so-called rain yesterday, whatever that was. Didn't get a lot of rain, still got the drip irrigation running, but we did go ahead and wash it. And sometimes washing it ahead of time can crack the leaves a little bit. So if you see some of the leaves maybe cracked, go ahead and just saute it, use it up. I love, if you're getting overwhelmed with greens, and this can happen early on in the season, green season isn't forever, but you can make it into a smoothie. And I had my first spinach smoothie like last year, and it was delicious. A little weird, but delicious. If you throw a banana in there, you won't even taste any bit of the greens. But I also like to saute it and then just freeze the greens in little clumps on a cookie sheet. And then I take those frozen clumps and I put them in a bag, label it, and then anytime I want to add, maybe a little bit of spinach to like an egg omelet or something, or a quiche, or maybe throw a little bit in with soup or something like that, I have just a little portion size bit of cooked spinach. So that is really a great trick that I love to do, especially when you've got so many of the greens, like we do right now. The spinach is still coming on strong, and I just love that. One of my favorite greens. Speaking of greens, we have a new one to debut this week, Swiss chard. This is just like the drama queen of the garden, just so gorgeous. I mean, all those beautiful colors. So sometimes the chard, this is Bright Lights Rainbow chard. Sometimes it's white, sometimes it's kind of pink candy striped, yellow, orange, all kinds of really amazing vibrant colors. So the whole thing is edible, stems and leaves. So same way last week we were talking about pak choi. You want to cook the stems a little bit first and then the leaves afterwards. One of my favorite things is a savory Swiss chard pudding. It's like a bread pudding that you use a lot of great savory cheeses and herbs and spices and things like that. And then the Swiss chard, you can even put in some roasted red peppers and things like that that you might have in your pantry. So we're going to include a recipe for that. Swiss chard does have a little bit of I don't know, maybe a little bit of a more mature, slightly bitter flavor. So it is good with, something like a balsamic on top of it. I like to saute it and then put a little bit of lemon on top. Lemon kind of balances out. It's great in like minestrone soup and things like that. And same way, if you've just got a lot of greens, saute it, freeze them, and you can use them later on. So these greens are so good for you, and you can just pack them into anything, throw them into a pasta. I make a lot of pasta bakes, and Swiss chard is a favorite thing to add into that. Nice color, nice texture, just another fun green to develop and try as we go along the season. And Swiss chard is usually around for a good amount of the season because it withstands heat, it withstands cold, basically it withstands a nuclear attack, so Swiss chard will be with us for a while. Also, speaking of greens, we have a lot of things that have greens on top. Now this week we are debuting something new we're very excited about, is our kohlrabi. And so the kohlrabi is like a magical little vegetable that grows above the ground. It's related to broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, and all of that. And this is the part that you want to eat. So this little bulb here, you're going to take and peel that. These are pretty young. You might not even have to peel it. I don't know. We'll have to try them out. But they have a really sweet, crunchy taste. Kohlrabi slaw is delicious. Kohlrabi pickles are delicious. And then greens. Of course, all these greens you can utilize. So those turnip greens, even radish greens, these you can cook them all and, you know, enjoy using all of these greens. If you happen to have a bunny or a chicken, they also like the greens too. But, you know, the likelihood of having either of those isn't super high. So anyways, use them up yourself. You'll be glad you did. And these are more like a collard green. They're a little bit of a denser, chewier green. So these you want to saute, but then also add a little bit of broth and cook them down for a while. So any sort of like southern greens recipe be great with these. So yeah, we've got a few different colors too. So you might be receiving, these are the traditional green kohlrabi, or you might also be getting purple or white kohlrabi, so be looking for those different colors throughout the season. It also pairs really well with apple, so we'll be putting a recipe in for an apple kohlrabi slaw that is really delicious and easy to make ahead for your week as well. So yay for kohlrabi. If you haven't tried them, it's really fun. Blanca was telling us, she's one of our Monday volunteers, that her family, they're Latino and they use a little bit of lemon and a little bit of salt and a little bit of chili pepper on top of it when they eat it. And I can't remember what she said the Spanish word for kohlrabi is, but it sounds very similar. She was like, oh yeah, of course we eat that raw with a little bit of lemon, salt, and chili pepper. So thanks, Blanca, for the idea. I appreciate that. All right, so of course we've got those fun turnips. Did everybody try your turnips? They're so good, aren't they? And all those beautiful greens. We are going to be featuring some really cool Scarlet Queen turnips in the next few weeks that are similar but kind of a reddish pinkish tinge. So those are new to us this year. But these Hakurei turnips, so good. If you're getting overwhelmed, cut off the greens, cut these to about here. Just store them in the fridge. I put them in a bag or a Pyrex container, put a dry paper towel in there, and these guys will last you for a good couple of weeks. I would say 2 to 3 weeks probably, and you can use them, add them to salad, that kind of thing. So definitely a good storage keeper. Just want to take those greens off, leave a little bit of stem, and then put them in something in the fridge. Radishes, of course, more Easter egg radishes, various sizes, because we're kind of going from one planting into the other. So you might be getting some smaller, might be getting some bigger ones. Either way, they're all delicious. And radishes are just a nice crunchy addition to any sort of dish that you're adding. Now, if you haven't roasted radishes, you haven't lived. So try roasting radishes. We'll be putting a roasted radish recipe in, and it is delicious. It takes away a little bit of that sharpness and that kick that radishes can have. So it makes them nice and mild, and then we just roast them real hot. When you're done, put a little balsamic reduction on there. You're going to hear me talk a lot about balsamic because it just really balances those root vegetables and helps to, you know, anything with a good strong flavor helps to give it a little boost. But that is a delicious way to use these guys as well. So kohlrabi also roasts really well too. So you could put a lot of these things into a roasted vegetable salad or something like that, roasted vegetable side. So there we go. Okay, and couple of very exciting things, saving the best for last, of course. We have mint, and we have 2 different varieties of mint. The more serrated one, let's see here, that one there, the more textured mint is called Mojito mint, and it is just like your traditional mint. And then we have chocolate mint. The smoother, darker one is chocolate. Just think dark chocolate, dark mint, dark chocolate mint. They are both delicious. My favorite thing to do, of course, you could make a nice sweet tea and throw some mint in there. I like to make a simple syrup. It's 1 part sugar, 1 part water. You're going to simmer that and then put your crushed stems, leaves, everything in there. 15 minutes, drain it out, and then that simple syrup can be used with some bubbly water to make a mint water. It could be used in a coffee or a tea to add a little flavor boost. And of course you can make a cocktail or a mocktail, and we've been making tons of mojitos lately, and you can juice those up with, you know, some alcohol or some not, your choice, but that lime and mint flavor comes through so strong, and it's so refreshing on these hot summer days. So mint, yay! Love that. And it's made the whole entire packing room smell amazing today. It's made the whole car smell amazing today, so thank you. We have Napa cabbage. These are just incredibly gorgeous this year. We did a really hard push in the spring to get a lot of these crops in earlier than we have before and really tend them carefully, so you're getting some really awesome Napa cabbages here very early. And Napa cabbage, I use it like any normal cabbage. My personal favorite cabbage for making coleslaw. So go out, get the Marie's coleslaw dressing. It's in the salad refrigerated dressing section of the store. I use that. I chop this up. I add onion, carrot, pepper, whatever you want, as much or as little. And then I just use that dressing, and it is so delicious. The Napa cabbage has all these little nooks and crannies that take the dressing, and it just is so good. I can never honestly go back to regular coleslaw with regular cabbage. This is so much better. Now this is also great in like kimchi if you want to try your hand at a little home fermentation. Kimchi, or saute it in a stir fry, or it's really great if you're making like a egg roll bowl. That's a really fun thing to do, where you make all the fixings that are going to be in an egg roll, and it's just served in a bowl on top of noodles or whatever. And so Napa cabbage, we're going to definitely be having some different Napa cabbage debuts throughout the season because we're big fans with it. So, all right. And then last but not least, we are getting some asparagus from a local farm. We haven't established an asparagus plot yet. We're hoping to someday in the future, but this is from Windy Acres in Geneva, and they have kindly helped us out in providing some asparagus, and we hope you'll enjoy it. It's kind of the end of the asparagus season, definitely an early crop, but we're happy to bring you a little bit more of that asparagus. Just keep it simple, folks. We steam or boil this for just a minute or two. Make sure, warm your water up first, get it boiling, then put this in. Really important. Then we drain it. We still want it to be very crisp. We put some butter in there. We saute it. A little bit of roasted garlic would be great too. And then a squeeze of lemon and a dash of sea salt. And you want to make sure that when you have the asparagus, it's still crunchy, still got some life to it. No limp asparagus on those forks, please. Oh, it would kill me. All right, so I think I've covered everything in the box. We'll be putting those recipes in there for you, and happy cooking. As always, send us pictures, send us recipes. We love to engage with you, our members, and see what's happening in your kitchen while we're doing our thing in the field. So thanks, guys. Week 2, it's a wrap. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next week. Bye.